Now, several committees of Parliament are expected to visit Eskom offices on Friday. Among them are the Public Enterprises, Mineral Resources and Energy Portfolio Committees and the Select Committee on Public Enterprises and Communications. The engagements with the senior Eskom management will look at, among others, intervention methods of resolving the energy crisis. For more on this, we're joined now by the Chairperson of the Mineral Resources and Energy Portfolio Committee, Sahlulele Luzipho. Very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. Your committee is looking to really get to the bottom of what's happening at the power utility. Talk to us about the aim of these visits.
Let me greet you, Paul, and the viewership. Yes, it is correct that these three committees, two from the National Assembly and one from the National Council of Provinces, had made a visit on Thursday and Friday to Eskom Megawatt Park. Yes, we think that at times the engagements with regards to the current challenges that we're faced with are more general or superficial instead of having an in-depth scientific understanding and knowledge, practical issues that we think that needs to be put to bear so that we can be able to find solutions. If we don't go deeper, we may just paper through the cracks and then saying that we are trying to resolve an endemic crisis. So the intention of the visit of the committees was to do what we'll call a practical exercise and engagement, both with labor as well as the senior management and the board of Eskom. I can safely say without any hesitation, we had a very fruitful engagement with the three unions, which is NUM, NUMSA, as well as Solidarity. And we have raised quite a number of serious issues. And amongst those is a leadership at the level of the executive that has got complete disregard of the current crisis that we're faced with. And that is what exactly we experienced ourselves when we were there. When we found that even having done a KTIS for the Eskom board and the senior executives, that instead of having that meeting on Thursday, we will accommodate them on the meeting on Friday, only for the CEO of Eskom to leave us in that meeting, preferring another meeting which we are not sure how important it is for somebody who's already on the doorsteps, on his way out, to disregard such a very important meeting, let alone the fact that the Chief Operations Officer did not even bother to show up at the meeting nor send an apology. So that to us sends a message that if we think that with that type of management, senior management, there's anything that this country will get out of this crisis, most definitely, I always say we are milking a bull, thinking that we are milking a cow.
So you're essentially saying that what you found that stands out for you is perhaps a leadership crisis.
If maybe leadership crisis is something that exists, for me there is no leadership. I'm not sure even, and I asked the question, a simple thing, even on the presentation that the group CEO had started to make, which is something that I would say is more like a repetition of what we have had before. Even themselves, they can confirm it does not have any short-term interventions. And if you don't have short-term interventions and you are left with 2 months, so why don't you just say, look, this is what I think I could do in the short term, and therefore I will not even finish my time because there's nothing I will be doing. If we are getting paid, it means you are being paid for 2 months without doing anything, because what you have as a plan is a long term that starts from 2 years and going upwards. And by that time, you will no longer be in the participating directly in the activity, let alone with the accounting authority at your shoulders.
When it comes to the other fundamental issues that the power utility is facing, what did you manage to find and establish, especially looking at the current energy availability?
Look, the first thing is that you don't have people who understand because you must first be able to understand in terms of your planning cycle. What is it that you are planning for? For an example, what they are talking about now is that for them, in terms of the energy availability factor, they are looking at 75. But that can't be. That is the lowest. That is the shallowest. At least your energy availability factor should be between around 89, 90, so that whatever interventions that are being made, there's absolutely no plan to deal with the issues, what you would call a comprehensive maintenance plan. Not at all. There is no clear strategy of what is supposed to be taking place at the level where you are supposed to be generating that electricity. For an example, at a power station level, there is no stability as far as management at those levels. People are told they are being rotated. So when you look at even that report, it's not giving any hope that tomorrow you may find a solution. Let me say, for us, what could be the solution? One of the solutions should be that if you've got a serious management, they should engage with their own counterparts. If there is a problem of coal, the transportation of coal is tempered on the way, don't you engage with Transnet so that you put the coal on the rail? Then you can be able to measure whether that has not made a difference. If you've got a problem with diesel, why can't you engage your counterparts at Petro SA so that you can negotiate a better deal? That at the time of the allocations for the 2023-2024 financial year, a portion of what you owe Petro SA can be paid to Petro SA, but Petro SA can give you that petrol, call it on credit or whatever, the better term you can use. There are many options. You've got a problem of determining the value or the type of coal that you need, and there's this exercise. Then engage the African exploration with regards to the issue of project management of coal, so that you are out of determination as far as coal is concerned. The last point is that if you've got problems in terms of technology and other requirements, in terms of research capacity and so forth, we've got the CSIR that we think it can do a better job as a state-owned entity on its own. So you don't get those kind of short interventions that can address the problems now. Clearly, the intention for them is to run down Eskom so that I would know what they stands to benefit. But my view is simple and straightforward. I don't think their minds and hearts are still at Eskom now. I think as they have resigned, they also have resigned to find solutions to the crisis that we're faced with.
Very well. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.